the Giants are 7-2, and while we know this is kind of like a fluke, Daniel Jones is playing pretty good, right? 1,596 yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the season, 92.7 passer rating, completing 66% of his passes. Now, before the season, while everybody wants to take these victory laps on Daniel Jones, oh man, look, he's such a good quarterback. I mean, the Giants didn't believe in him, right? They declined his fifth-year option at $22.38 million. So I wouldn't be mad if the common fan didn't either, because obviously the organization didn't. They can franchise tag him after the season for $31.5 million, or they can give him a contract extension. Given how Daniel Jones has played, where's your comfort level in giving Daniel Jones an extension, and what number are you comfortable giving Daniel Jones?
So 1 to 10, my comfort level of giving Daniel Jones an extension right now is a 10. I say that because you will get him at a
10.
Let him go. Let him spit.
I know. You know, you give monologues. You expect the respect of you to finish.
I respect you,
I'm
bro.
sorry, I was answering a text message.
And that's rude in and of itself.
You were rude twice.
Be better. Be better.
I just got things.
That's a nice sweater, though.
Thank you, bro.
Very fly.
I know it's comfy, too.
It's so comfy.
Yeah.
You want to get in it?
I do. I'm freezing right now. I do. I actually want to be in your skin.
I've been touching it all show.
Yeah. It's been magnificent.
I've been touching it all show.
I'll be in your skin, and you're gonna complain. You're gonna complain.
I've said a couple things this show that's gone over both of y'all heads.
No, I peeped. I just don't say anything anymore. You're a sick you.
Bro said. I said, Joel, you got tongue tied. I'm trying to get tongue tied with you.
Yeah, I heard you. You're a sick you, bro. I let you be a sick you.
That was a good one.
Monologue it up, bro.
Like I was saying, why I'm comfortable. A 10 out of 10 comfort level with giving Daniel Jones an extension right now is because you are going to be getting a starting caliber quarterback for the lowest possible price, to be honest with you. You're going to pay him around $30 million, and you're going to get a guy that has already shown that he can win you ball games with as little as possible. Shout out to Saquon Barkley, because obviously that's not as little as possible. He's one of the elite of the elites at the running back position. But outside of Saquon, we're talking about Richie James, Darius Slayton, guys that really just do not move the needle by any stretch of the meaning. But shout out to Darius Slayton, because he's really maximized his opportunity. I feel like I've been slandering his name, and it's been kind of backhandedly, undeservedly. He's been playing very well, so credit to him. But in comparison to the other situations that we do see, it is amongst one of the worst groups that there is. And even still, he's winning ball games. He's number 2 right now in game-winning drives. He is one of the league leaders in passer rating. Daniel Jones just continues to win regardless of what's going on. If you are the Giants, you give him the contract, a 3-year, let's say $90 million, and it's around $30 million a season, because that's my number right now if I'm the Giants. $30 million. I don't waver from that. You get a 3-year, $90 million contract. You get $30 million a year. You show me what you can do. You're still under 25. If you show out these next 3 years, you can be due for a big contract. The Giants have bigger fish to fry. They need wide receivers. They need better offensive linemen. They need linebackers more than anything. They need help in the secondary. If I'm the Giants, my main focus is not trying to upgrade the quarterback. And in drafting a quarterback as well, they're putting themselves in a position where they're out of the conversation for a Bryce, for a CJ. I'm sorry, and I'm blanking on one other quarterback.
Levis.
Thank you. Is it
Levis?
Levis? There it is.
Levi's.
I don't want to disrespect him. He also deserves to be in that conversation as well. You've taken yourselves out of that conversation, and if you decide to take a mid-round pick and spend it on a quarterback when you have all these other holes, I'm going to continue to question what's going on with the Giants. But so far this past offseason, I should say, they did a great job. Dave Gettleman's no longer in New York. He's no longer ruining what's going on in NY. It's a new day. And so I'm expecting them to target these holes.
It's a new day.
Give Daniel Jones the contract that he deserves, which is the 3 for $90 million, and allow him to be at a discounted price while you continue to build a roster around him and potentially get you guys into an elevated chance of really contending. Because right now you guys are 7-2. You guys are technically contending, but I can sit here as one of the few Giants supporters and say there are other teams that you look at and they are better than the Giants. They're a year early, and that's a testament to what the Giants are trying to do and what they have instilled in their players thus far. So I'm expecting them to continue to play at a high level, but next year, when they start to figure out the X's and O's of the missing pieces, that's when we'll start to see the Giants really contend.
The Giants remind me of someone who hit their growth spurt early, and now later on in life, everybody else is taller than them. In middle school, you're the center playing basketball because you had the growth spurt early. Then in high school, you notice, wow, these guys are taller than me, and I really should be playing like guard.
I don't appreciate this statement.
I'm so confused.
Because I was really one of those
I
guys.
like the analogy.
I was one of those guys. I played center and power forward my whole life.
Oh,
I get to high school, suddenly I have to dribble the basketball.
My growth spurt was late.
Kirk Cousins right now, looking at average salaries.
This guy's fucking had the salaries up, bro. Had the salaries up. It's always up.
Kirk Cousins, $35 million. Jared Goff, at the time, got an extension. You can say he was deserving of it based on his play. $33 million a year. That contract has aged poorly. Some will say Kirk's has aged poorly as well. People weren't the biggest fan of that contract when it happened.
That's fine.
Carson Wentz, $32 million. At the time, he's viewed as a franchise quarterback. He got the contract. A bad contract now.
In hindsight, yes, but I'm fine with that at the time as well.
Matt Ryan, $30 million. He got it. And
It's fine.
yeah, of course it's fine. He's Matt Ryan. Ryan Tannehill, $29 million. Got the contract. And you can say,
That's fine.
That's fine for him as well. If Daniel Jones gets a contract, he'd be the 15th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. This is where I have a gripe with Daniel Jones. And it's not that he's not played fantastic. He's played fantastic. 4 games with the 100 passer rating. The passing defenses Daniel Jones has faced this season, 31st ranked, 20th ranked. The 4th ranked, he had a 57.9 rating. The 10th ranked, he had a 76.1 rating. 3rd ranked, he had a 100.2 rating, which was against Green Bay. Then the 28th, the 21st, and then this past week against the Texans, they have the 15th ranked passing defense, 153.3 passer rating. Daniel Jones,
It's the higher passer rating of any quarterback this season as well, to add.
Daniel Jones against top 10 defenses or better this year has completed 64% of his passes, 2 total touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 78 passer rating. It is fair to say that the weapons around Daniel Jones isn't amazing. So you add weapons, he will play better. I think that's pretty clear. The Giants are projected to have $59 million in cap space in 2023. Daniel Jones, they have to pay. Saquon, they have to pay. They pay Daniel Jones, let's say it's $30 million. Let's say Saquon gets $12 to $15 million. That now leaves you with about $14 million to now allocate to different positions because DJ and Saquon are taking up $45 million of your cap that you have out of $59 million. I would not extend Daniel Jones. I'd franchise tag him.
Okay.
If the Washington Commanders with Kirk Cousins franchise tagged him year after year after year, which in hindsight was a wrong decision because now they struggle at quarterback, I don't see any reason to guarantee Daniel Jones a long-term contract. We've seen guys like Carson Wentz, like Jared Goff, their contracts age horribly because you buy into them, and they had a better case for you to buy into them than Daniel Jones, and now it looks horrible. That's why I do feel like the Giants are a bit early on this because now they have these decisions instead of drafting one of those quarterbacks and starting over with the quarterback on a rookie deal. It's a tricky situation because I don't think it's indicative of Daniel Jones' play. I think he's been good this season. But if I'm running the organization, I'm franchise tagging him. I'm not extending him long term. I'm going by it on a year-to-year basis.
So the question was confidence level 1 to 10, right? What would you put it at?
6 to 7. There's a brand new fantasy app. It's called Boom Fantasy. You got over-unders, player props. You got matchups. This player versus that player. That's personally my favorite and long shots. You can win 40 times your money. And if I'm not mistaken, Joel, NBA is coming soon.
Yes, sir. NBA will be in the app in the next 10 days or so. Wow. I believe opening night is October 19th, so we'll have stuff up a few days beforehand. That's going to be fun because we have it every night. You don't have to wait till Monday, Thursday.
Did you get your code? The League Pass?
I did get my code
I
for
got
League
my
Pass.
code too.
Yep, that's amazing.
That's from 2K, right?
Yes.
That's tough.
amazing.
That's fire.
So if you guys haven't already, download the Boom Fantasy app right now. Link is in our description or in the caption wherever you're watching.
The thing with the franchise tag is, I mean, it's an extra 1 million, so it's not a crazy number, but you're still paying him. I'm trying to get him 3 years, $30 million. That is a huge discount. It's a discount, especially in 2022.
If he keeps playing like this, yeah, it is.
I also don't know if he keeps playing like this, if he's going to be very cordial in those negotiations. I think he's going to want to maximize his money.
I mean, the stats, the statistics themselves are not right there to put himself in a position to allocate for more. The wins are his bread and butter to get himself the $30 million, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just we've seen it's very hard to build around a quarterback once you pay that quarterback in the NFL.
For sure.
Correct.
In the modern NFL, unless you have one of those top guys.
I'm with you.
So if the Giants do extend Daniel Jones, now you know you're stuck with him for a couple of years. And this is somebody who's had one phenomenal season
Throw some respect on his rookie year.
to
He
this
had
name.
30
To-
turnovers.
so
He had a
far.
lot. He was a rookie, though.
He had 30 turnovers.
Okay.
He had. We're not going to say we said exceptional.
Yeah,
His rookie year was
no,
not
no.
exceptional. It was fine.
I'm not saying no. That's why.
probably at this
you said,
point.
that's why I said he had a good rookie year.
Listen, he had a lot of touchdowns, right? He had some good yardage.
I
But
wanna
30
say
turnovers
this-
is going to lose you a lot
This
of games.
may be.
Winston vibes.
I want to say
But not
he's
30
had
touchdowns.
6 games throwing over 300 yards. I want to
What,
say,
his rookie year.
yeah, and 5 of them were his rookie season.
He had a good rookie year.
Just the turnovers, and that's been his biggest change from his rookie last year. His rookie year from last year. These last 3 years is this year he's not turned the ball over. He had the highest fumbling rate in the NFL. I mean, this guy was someone who fumbled more than 20 times his rookie year. And
clean that up.
Completely changed it around. 30 mil for Daniel Jones. It's going to be probably one of the cheapest starting quarterbacks in terms of guys who get a second contract. You have a guy like Baker Mayfield who's making about $15 million per year. Jameis around 14. Mariota around 10. I'll just read this tweet. Daniel Jones has 6 career games over 300 passing yards. 5 of them came his rookie seasons. In those 5 games, he had 16 touchdowns and 1 interception. His top targets in his rookie year were Darius Slayton, Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, and Saquon Barkley.
So he has one since his rookie year.
He's had 1 since his rookie year. And this season, he hasn't been exceptional in terms of statistics, but he's been timely. He's made good throws. He's been accurate. He's been, mobile and athletic and been able to get a lot of situations where they've dealt with some, injuries and a couple games where the offensive line hasn't played well. Early in the season, he was the most pressured quarterback in the league. But for $30 million, when you compare it to the other guys who are on those contracts, not on rookie deals, not backup quarterbacks, it's the bottom. It's the bottom of the market, $30 million. So while it sounds nice to us, 30 mil, Daniel Jones is probably looking at this too and saying, Tannehill gets 30 mil, Matt Ryan gets 30 mil, Carson Wentz gets 32, Jared Goff gets 33. I know these guys might have got paid a few years ago, but I'm better than all these guys this season. I'm out here winning games. I'm putting us. This is going to be the first time we've made the playoffs in, 7 years, however long it's been since they've last been there. So going into those contract negotiations, I'm sure the Giants would be happy to pay him $30 million, and maybe they end up at that franchise tag number, which is $31 million. The more interesting thing is, and what it is for all NFL contracts, is what's the guaranteed money going to be?
For sure.
If it's $30 million a year and you have 50 guaranteed, that means you're tied for him, for about 2 seasons. If you give him $30 million a year, but if you want to guarantee $70, $80 million of that, the Giants are telling us they're committed for him for 3 full seasons. So the guaranteed money is going to tell you all you really have to know. The actual number, like he might go out there, get 3 years, $120 million, but $50 million of it's guaranteed. That doesn't have the same impact if you get 3 years, $100 million and $90 million is guaranteed, right? So that's going to be the biggest impact on the Giants. They have a lot to work out defensively. The weapons, as you mentioned, Drew, right? Daniel Jones is not their problem right now. They should feel very grateful that Daniel Jones is playing at this level because it makes things a bit easier for them. They don't have to go out and go in the Jimmy G, type of free agency trade, or they're not going to get a quarterback in the back half of the first round that's probably going to give them this production their rookie season. So Daniel Jones has far exceeded my expectations this year. Will he ever be, that top 8 franchise quarterback? Is he ever going to have a season Tua is having right now? I don't think so. I know, we knocked on Tua the last couple of years with his situation and his poor play, but, this is also year 4 for Daniel Jones, right? Tua was still young Tua, right? This is year 3. So Daniel Jones has had experience in this league. He has the coach now. He still needs the weapons, but even with the weapons, this does still feel like Saquon Barkley-led offense, relying on Brian Dable to scheme a lot of things open and eventually getting that defense up to par. But for $30 million, I'm probably around like, I'm giving it to him, right? Because what's my alternative? Who am I going to go out there and get that's going to replace him? There's really, unless they somehow get into a Lamar sweepstakes or they could really get a top-tier quarterback, is there a huge difference right now between Daniel Jones and Jimmy G? Probably not.
No, I would honest to God take Daniel Jones. If you put Daniel Jones in San Fran, they are a favorite to win the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying
true. What is wrong with you?
No, explain to me how that's wrong.
The same dude in the same environment.
They're not the same dude.
They are relatively
Explain
the
to me how
same
they're the
guy.
same
They're
dude.
both game managers
But that's
that make
because of
timely
situation.
throws. If you put Daniel Jones on the Niners, that doesn't mean they are Super Bowl contenders. He still has his limitations.
What are his limitations?
You don't know what he can do on a prime time or in a playoff situation.
He hasn't been good in prime time.
Neither has Jimmy G.
That's my point, though.
He's been better.
That's my point, though. There's still the
Daniel-
limitations are still the
Here's-
same
here's
thing.
Here's
bro.
the thing that you're trying to talk to me like I'm dumb, and I'm using hyperbole in that sense.
Oh no, I'm not.
I understand. I'm using hyperbole. The reason why that statement is so hard for me to sit with is because he's had Deebo Samuel, he's had George Kittle, he's had one of the better rush offenses in the league. And it has not led to them getting over that hump.
But sometimes
Daniel Jones with Darius Slayton, with all due respect to Darius, with Richie James, Ellinger until he got hurt, which that's a big loss for them as well. Saquon Barkley gets all the credit in the world. He's still able to win games. Now, and this is also not with one of the best defenses in the National Football League. You put Daniel Jones on that team where Daniel Jones actually is one of the more accurate ball throwers for not one of the more mentioned quarterbacks in the game. When it comes to throwing the football, it's not a question. I would lean Daniel Jones. You give him Deebo Samuel. You give him George Kittle. And now a CMC to add to the mix. It's not a question. Daniel Jones would definitely
Does that put them
record.
over the Eagles?
No,
I said real contenders. I don't
No, you
look
said
at the
Super Bowl.
Niners.
You said Super
you
Bowl.
said Super Bowl.
favorites.
That's why.
Yeah, you
That's
said Super Bowl.
You know what?
Super Bowl.
Fine.
Okay.
Yes, you could say that.
No, but the only way that happens is if that puts them over the Eagles. Because right now we all agree the Niners are number 2 in the NFC
And,
right now.
you know what? And I'm fine to stand on that statement. I am fine because the reason why I have the Eagles is because Jimmy G is limited. Daniel Jones expands the offense.
Hold on.
Because he's also mobile as well, and Jimmy G is not nearly
he's
as.
mobile, but sometimes, and this is yes, we can say his weapons aren't great, which is a fact. Nobody's denying
It's not
it.
Debo. It's not
Sometimes
Kittle.
guys are just who they are, and sometimes in other
I was told that about Tua, and that was
sometimes
incredibly
in
wrong.
other situations we can't just judge of what could have happened. We have not seen Daniel Jones in enough primetime or playoff atmospheres
He's
to know.
0-9 in primetime games.
God damn, to know
He's been
if
on the
could-
Giants. That's
which
going to
is-
hold
which is
weight
what
with
I'm
you.
saying though. In terms of in that situation with the Niners, we don't know what he's going to look like, so we can't just automatically assume if they get a slightly better quarterback that makes them a Super Bowl contender.
I think he's. I would say significantly better. The fact that the
Even
Niners
if
are
he's
10-2 when he's thrown 0 touchdowns
What's-
is not they don't win because of Jimmy.
Wait, but Daniel Jones hasn't been great against top 10 defenses. Let's stop acting like he's done
He's
something.
lost 2 games.
But him personally, the team has performed. But him personally, him as a man, him as the quarterback, he has not been great.
He has 5 game-winning drives.
Exceptional game manager.
He's
One
been
of those drives
he's
against
been
the Jags, he had zero
he's
pass
been
yards.
a plus Jimmy G
Against
in
the
those
Packers,
moments.
though, let's not play like
No,
that. He didn't go the full length.
I know.
field.
I know.
Without
he's had
Saquon Barkley.
he had his moments, but he's been a plus Jimmy G
In London.
in games against top 10 defense.
So
That's just a fact.
looking at Daniel Jones' primetime games since starting at the beginning of his
He
career.
also played for the Giants.
Yeah,
who
the
were one of
0-9 in
No,
prime
but
time.
I know,
Yeah.
but I mean,
No, the
I know, but
Giants stink.
there's some
Yeah.
context to the stat. 3 interceptions, 35 passer rating. 1 interception, 74 passer rating. 2 interceptions, 79 passer rating. 1 interception, 92 passer rating. 2 interceptions, 74 passer rating. 0 interceptions against Washington, 102 passer rating. 1 interception, 96 passer rating. 2 interceptions, 57 passer rating. And then against the Cowboys earlier this year, 1 interception, 57 passer rating. That's been him in primetime.